welcome to Diamonds and Pearls. I'm Angela, and today I have a post review for you on my very first Dreamer Designs diamond painting kit. If you have not seen it, I did do a video unboxing this kit. It was technically free. I did have to pay $14.99 for shipping and handling, but I purchased this after seeing just a slew of ads for that particular deal of getting a free diamond painting kit from Dreamer Designs, and I wanted to try the brand, so I went for it, and I ended up getting 2 kits actually for $14.99. It's something that they offer, and you can take advantage of the deal as many times as you want as long as there is stock. So I did that, and I'll link that video in the description box, and I'll also put a card in the corner up here for anyone who's interested in seeing that if you haven't seen it already. But anyway, so to get started, I do want to say that overall I am pleased with how this turned out, and I think it's a very nice image. The piece is called Butterfly Orchid Fantasy, and it is legally licensed artwork from Sandra Trubin. And this is a 30 by 30 centimeter or 11.8 by 11.8 inch canvas. It had 39 colors, 2 of which were ABs. This is a square drill canvas. As you can see, there was not a drill count on the box when I unboxed it and looked at all the packaging, but I did count the drills across both ways, and it's 14,400 drills. I multiplied, obviously I didn't count all of the drills, but it takes 14,400 drills to complete this particular diamond painting. So I do think the canvas is good quality. I particularly enjoy that they extend the picture or the image out onto the border just a little bit. And that is where the glue was extended to, this line here of the image. And I thought that this was an issue with printing where that the print was wrong, but I think this is actually just how the image is printed, so there was not an issue with that after all. So yeah, I liked that. I did use washi tape when I was working on it to cover that extra border to keep the sticky from getting hair and whatnot in and dust and dirt. The glue of the canvas, I will say, was great the whole way through, except for this bottom triangle right here. And I will insert some footage. You look right here, you can see that the canvas is shiny. There's glue present. Sticks to my finger. You can hear it. And here it is very dull in this one corner. Up here, it's still okay. Here, it's even okay a little bit. You can see a little bit of shiny right here. But right here, it's dull. You see how dry that looks? It starts to get a little shiny up there. It's a little sticky, but this whole area is dry. I ended up having to put glue down. I used Diamond Dots dot stick, diamond painting adhesive. But yeah, you could see in the corner, it was like it was completely dry. There was no tackiness. It was just gone. And I don't know what that was about. The rest of the canvas was great, but just this one little corner, and that was the last corner I did, was not good. So I did the glue and it was fine and I was able to finish. But yeah, I just thought that was a little bit odd, but the rest of it was great. No problems with slipping or anything like that. The glue was great. As far as the actual fabric of the canvas goes, I did have some fraying, as you can see here on the edges, even though it is kind of scalloped and poked in a way. So it is fraying in spots, but it's not to the point of ruining the main part of the canvas. And it's held up, so like up at the top I think is the worst. I can cut that or pull it off. Anyway, the canvas held up, just had a little bit of fraying, but not too bad. As far as working on this particular piece, it was a lot more confetti. It was more confetti than it appeared when I first started. When I first saw this image, because of all these blues and whatnot, it didn't seem like it was going to be confetti heavy. And I wouldn't say it was confetti heavy. It was maybe confetti medium. Because you do have some line blocking in here, but there was a nice mix of confetti interspersed throughout. And this top corner is where I started, and I worked my way across, and then I went this row and then this way. And starting with this top corner, this probably took me the longest just because I was getting my footing, you know, feel for the canvas and how the drills were going to lay, and making sure that everything was straight and aligned. So this first little block, it was about like this, took me maybe, I think it was about 2 hours. But I kind of flew through the rest of it whenever I did work on it. I did try a couple different putties while I was working on this. I tried Forever Young. I tried Forever Young putty, which was great. And then I switched to Art Dot putty because Art Dot has putty. They have putty that they claim works well with ABs, and it does. The putty lived up to its claims, so I had no problem with ABs using the Art Dot putty. And the ABs, I'll just show you. I mean, let me see if I can focus correctly here. Through these flowers, like right in there, they're very pretty. They were placed so well throughout the striations of the flower and through the outer edges of the butterfly, and then a beautiful green AB in some of the greenery, the green areas of the image. They did a great job with the AB placement. And I think fairy dust would have been really pretty throughout the deeper blue of the butterfly. Or even like the whole, I don't know. I love fairy dust drills. And I know fairy dust is a trademarked thing with Diamond Art Club. So, but whatever their version of dust drills is it Dreamer Dust? I'm not sure. If they had some in this butterfly in the blue areas, I think that would have been nice. But 2 ABs for such a small kit, I mean, I think it's great. I did not have too much. I mean, I had some trash, but that's not a big deal to me. Some of these longer pieces, I had some like weird pieces, like the little round ones in there. This isn't a big deal though, because I had plenty of drills to work with. These are what I had left over. I used 2 containers. So yeah, so a good amount of drills left. So the trash doesn't really matter to me as long as I have enough drills to finish the piece. It's not an issue. So yeah, that was my trash. I used these little 1-inch square containers I got off of Amazon. I love these. There wasn't a sticker for your logbook. I cut this off of the box. Anyway, I stuck this in here just so that I would have it with my drills. But I love that the stickers, even though they weren't pre-cut, I love how big the stickers are. The size, I think, is great for these containers. Some might say they're too big for, like, if you were using Diamond Art Club storage or Elizabeth Ward storage. But I love how easily readable the symbols on the stickers are. I thought that was fantastic, especially for somebody like me in their 40s whose eyesight is slowly failing. And I have to use readers, but I love the size of the stickers, so that's great. Okay, so regarding the drills, while I did enjoy this piece, and I think the overall look of it is very lovely, it's very pretty, And I love the shine with the light on. I do have my flash on my phone recording. I think that the non-AB drills, they're just a little lackluster. And let me see if I can zoom in on some to show you what I'm talking about. So there's just a kind of dullness to them almost. And I think I'm just spoiled on Diamond Art Club. Anybody who's worked on Diamond Art Club canvases, you know how shiny and amazing their drills are, you know. And so these just, they don't compare. They do have some shine to them. It's just nothing like Diamond Art Club. And Diamond Art Club certainly has an advantage because they make their own drills in-house. So they hold themselves to a higher standard. They don't outsource for their drills. So they have an advantage there of being able to control the quality. I did want to add in one more clip of going over the diamond painting in this way, just so you can kind of see the overall look of how they're sitting. And I do want to say, as far as the gapping goes, not terrible. And I do want to add that I did not go in with any kind of straightener to perfect or align anything, make it better. I just left things as I placed them while I worked on it. So just keep that in mind as well. I'm sure that I could probably fix some of these areas, like right in here, if I just broke out the straightener, but I have not done that. Aside from the drill field maybe needing a little bit of tightening up, I think that there's an inconsistency with height. And that's kind of hard to see on camera, but some of these areas where it looks like there's gapping. Yes, there are some areas that do have gapping, but there are some, like, let me try to find a spot to show you what I'm talking about. I feel like there are some that it's just like the height of the drills is inconsistent. It's really hard to tell on camera, but I would come across some that, you know, some of them were just not as tall. They would stick up more than others. And I felt like that contributed to the look of gapping where there wasn't necessarily gapping, because you could see a difference in the height, in the space of the height of the drills. I don't know that I can really show that on camera, but there was just a little bit of inconsistency in some of the drills. It wasn't terrible. And like I said, I had plenty of leftover drills, enough that if a drill was very different from its neighbor, I could swap them out if I wanted to. So just another thought about that. Of course, with any diamond painting company, not all the drills are going to be perfect, and you will have some inconsistencies with height. The drills were definitely not that of a non-premium brand. And standing back from it like this, you're not going to see it. As a seasoned diamond painter, obviously those things are going to stand out. But when you're standing back from it, looking at it on a wall, that stuff is all going to blend in. And honestly, I'm okay with it, because if it was perfect, then, you know, this just shows that it's hand done. Oh, I didn't mention the time spent. I started this on June 12th and I finished on August 16th. And through that time frame, I worked on it 10 days over that 2-month period. And the hours spent was 21 hours and 34 minutes. I don't know if that's anything that you're interested in, but I like keeping track of my stats. So that is how much time it took me to finish this. And I don't know if that's fast or slow, but I multi-place and I single place. I think that's a pretty good time. It's not a competition anyway. I just like to keep track of that stuff for me. It's fun. I got a little bit of glue on the canvas here from where I had to apply some. But anyway, yeah, so 10 days, 21 hours, that's not bad. So overall, I did enjoy working on this small kit. I think it was definitely worth my $14.99 in shipping and handling. I don't know that I would paint this particular design again, but I do think it's a great one for people who are interested in exploring the Dreamer Designs brand and trying them out and just getting your feet wet in, an inexpensive way. I definitely want to try a larger kit from Dreamer Designs. This could be one that has been sitting in their warehouse for a while, with the deal that they were offering. And it's possible that the drill fields on newer canvases is tighter and just a little bit better. And of course, it's also, I do think that the more premium, larger kits maybe have pre-cut stickers. So that's possibly a thing. There's probably some differences between this kit and a newer kit if I was to purchase something that just came out. Anyway, this is it. It's beautiful. It's colorful. It's fun. It'll go up on my wall. I enjoyed it. And I would recommend trying it out. That is my post review. Thank you for coming back. If you're a returning subscriber, I appreciate you being here. And if you're new here, I appreciate you stopping by, and I hope you will consider subscribing to my channel. My name is Angela, and I upload mostly diamond painting related content, but I do sprinkle in some journaling and stationery content, and I've started sprinkling in some yarn related knitting and crochet as well, and hope to do more of that in the future too. But if you like any of that crafty stuff, please subscribe and stick around and come back and see me. And everybody, please don't forget to hit the like button on your way out and leave me a comment and let me know, have you tried Dreamer Designs? Have you tried this particular kit from Dreamer Designs? Did you get in on the free deal? And if you don't want to say anything, drop me a butterfly emoji. And yeah, just let me know that you saw this and you stuck through to the end. That would be much appreciated. All right, well, I hope that you enjoyed this little post review, and I hope you all get to spend some time creating today. Thank you so much for watching, friends. I will see you at my next video. Bye. Oh, look, here's Miles. 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 Hi, Percy. Hi, Papa. Hi, Miles. How you doing, bud? Hi, Maybelline. Hi, pretty girl. Hi. There's Prudence. My babies.